Hi guys, it's Orion. I'm back with another video. It's been maybe 2 or 3 weeks since I made a video. It had to be 2. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm gonna just skip all the way back. So I made 35 weeks. I made the video. Then that Saturday, I felt a pain in my stomach, and I was like, just walk it off, I don't really feel good. I'm a chill, ain't nothing really wrong. So then Sunday morning, when Kendrick was getting up for work, I was like, man, I don't feel good. Like, I don't know what it is. It was like nauseous, but like just like something was wrong. But me, I was like, well, I'm just gonna go back to sleep. You go to work. And he was like, no, let's go to the hospital. So I was like, okay. We go to women's, we go to the assessment, and I get there, and my blood pressure was a little high. It was like 150s maybe, or like 80 something high. Mind you, at my appointments, my regular blood pressure is 120s over like 60 or 80. Nothing bad at all. But my last few appointments, like, it would be high, but then it would go back down, so they wasn't worried. But this time I went to the hospital. It was high, so they admitted me, and they took a urine sample, and then I'm trying to think what else they did. They swabbed me. They checked my cervix. Cervix was closed still. But because my pressure was so high and I had gestational diabetes already, they admitted me. Now, this was Sunday at 6 in the morning when they admitted me. So, well, they didn't admit me right away. I had to take a fetal movement test, and she wasn't moving, which normally she is really active. So she failed that part. So they admitted me, and then they moved me to the high risk level of labor and delivery. So I was like, okay, it's fine, whatever. So then I had to collect my urine for 24 hours. And they gave me blood pressure medicine to bring it down. Well, no, they admitted me for 24 hours, and then my blood pressure was like 155 over 104 or something. And they tried to discharge me like the next day, Monday. And mom was like, no, I don't think you should do that. Like, no, because mom was a nurse. She was like, no, we're not doing that. She's staying. Like, no. So then when my urine came back, they was like, first, it took forever. It took forever to even tell me this. They said that I had a little protein in my urine, which means I have mild preeclampsia. Mild preeclampsia is, I don't know how to explain it. Preeclampsia is when you have like protein, headache. No, it's dangerous for you and the baby. Let's just say that. So I stayed there. That Monday night, my pressure got up to like 160 overnight. So that caused me to have another day at the hospital because they gave me more medicine. So then I was there all day Tuesday and monitored my pressure. And so then Wednesday I decided, okay, well, your stuff is good, you can leave. I knew. Was it Wednesday? Or was it Thursday? One of those days, I knew that I would be back. I knew. She might be pooping. I knew that I would have to go back. I just knew it. when we were there, we were like, they just need to like do something to make it feel like they care. So they did give me the 2 steroid shots, which was the reason I had to stay those days, because you have to take them, I think it's like 24 hours apart. So they gave me one, and then they gave me the other one in my butt, and it really hurted. But it's to help. It's to help with the baby's lungs, just in case they needed to deliver her early, which they did. So, was it Friday or Thursday? No, it was Thursday. I can't even remember. Yeah, it was Thursday night. Well, when they sent me home, my mom was like, I'm gonna buy you a blood pressure cuff to take it home, just in case it rises again. So I was taking it home, and I was like, these numbers are a little high, but it's a cuff. It could be tricky, so I'm just gonna wait till mom get home with the manual one. So when she gets home, she comes over here with the manual one, and she checks it, and it was 170 over 100. So then we were like, let's just wait a little bit and then see, because I really didn't want to go back and get stuck all over again, because I was bruised up from them sticking me, and I was annoyed, and I was just frustrated. So then we waited a few minutes, she took it in, and it was a 170 over 110. That's really high and really dangerous. So we hurried up and packed Kinsley a bag and me a bag, and we went to the hospital. Went through assessment. Before they actually like took me in the back room at triage, she checked my blood pressure, and it was 178 over 115, something like that. So she was like, oh yeah, it's very, very high. So for me not to have a stroke or anything, they gave me 2 blood pressure medicines, a shot and an IV. So then my mama got there, and they admitted me. Yeah, this was Thursday night. They admitted me. So then Friday morning, I think it was, the doctor came in. Not my doctor. My doctor was out this whole time on Mardi Gras break, just chilling, living it up. I can't be mad at her though. She gotta have a vacation too. So the only doctor came in, and he was like, well, since your blood pressure was, well, he asked me if I had any blood pressure problems before, and I was like, no. And he was like, well, let me check your joint reflexes. And they checked it, and he was like, oh yeah, you have really, like, he used some type of word, reflexes. And I was like, okay, what's that mean? He was like, yeah, that's a sign of really bad preeclampsia. So they had me pee in a cup, and pee in the cup again, and my protein had went up in my urine since the few days that I was there. So at this point, it's like, okay, well, we need to do something, because my protein is going up, meaning preeclampsia is getting worse, which is worse for my child and for me. So then he was like, okay, well, let me go talk to the fetal people and see what they say. So then a couple hours go by, and then he comes back, and he's like, okay, so we're gonna decide to induce you, because there's no point in waiting. You already have the steroid shots. You know, your baby is gonna be early, but I mean, there's no point in waiting. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I don't have a problem with that. Let's get this show on the road. So they give me a pill. Well, they don't give me, well, yeah, I guess they give me. They put a pill all the way up in my vagina, TMI, in my vagina, to soften my cervix. First one didn't work. And each time they gave me a pill, they had to check my cervix. Cervix was closed each time. So the first time, cervix closed. Second time, cervix closed. Third time, cervix closed. I think she stretched me to like a 1 at the third one. Like, she made me be a 1, which I was fine with. I mean, it hurted like heck, but I was fine with that, you know. If you gotta stretch me to be a 1, go ahead, do it. So she stretched me to be a 1, and then they gave me the 4th pill, and they was like, okay, I'm gonna check you after this part. And each pill is like a couple hours, like I think it's like 4 hours after each for it to work. So after the fourth pill, they she was like, okay, if this one doesn't work, we're gonna give you the balloon. The balloon is inserted in your cervix, filled with like water or something, I think, to make your cervix stretch, and it's gonna come out and pop whenever your water breaks, or whenever you reach 4 centimeters, something like that, whatever. So she leaned me back to check me again after the fourth pill, and my water broke on its own. So I was like, yay, you know, that's great. So when my water broke, I think I was 2 centimeters. I asked for, I really didn't want drugs, but she was like, well, we can give you a natural medication that most people that don't want an epidural get, is to help you relax and let you take a nap. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So she gave me that. It worked great. I took a nap, and then before I knew it, I don't remember these things, but they said I got to a 5. And when I got to a 5, I asked for the epidural because I could not take the pain anymore. The pain was so bad. And I thought I was strong, but I couldn't, I couldn't. And people say it's probably because I got induced, which that could be a reason why the pain was so bad, because it was horrible. And in between, I knew it was gonna be bad, because when I was to wake up and go pee, I could barely walk to the bathroom. I had to take breaks. I could feel the pain in each contraction. I would wake up from a contraction and then go back to sleep. Wake up, then go back to sleep. So at 5 centimeters, I got the epidural, and they told me to lay on my side, and then maybe an hour after that, I was at 10. I was at 10 centimeters, and I kept crying. Well, I wasn't crying. I didn't shed a tear, but I kept expressing that I had to push. I had to poop. The feeling of pooping is so real when you have to push. It's so real, and I never imagined it being that way. So I kept telling Kendrick, I have to push. I have to push. So the nurse was like, okay, push. You can push. We all up in here set up already. You can push. So my doctor wasn't in there. She was delivering another baby. So not my doctor, but the on-call doctor was delivering another baby. So she came in. Well, she didn't come in. The nurse was like, well, you can push, you can push. And then she was trying to tell me I could push, but at the same time, she didn't want to get in trouble if I delivered. So they kept trying to call the doctor and all this and all that. So then by the time the doctor got there, I remember some of this. Some of this is fake, but I remember this from the stories that people was telling me. By the time the doctor got there, I was so tired. I wasn't even ready anymore. So she would deliver someone else's baby, and then she came back. So I was still trying to push. I wanted to see her come out, so I got them to put a mirror in front of me. But it's really hard to push and keep your eyes open to try to see. So that kind of distracted me and made me go a little slower. So I was like, well, just move the mirror, because this is really hurting and I need her to come out now. So they moved the mirror, and I keep pushing. Then she was coming out sideways. So they were trying to rotate which that probably was another reason why it was really painful, because her head was coming out sideways. So they was well, they had to rotate my hips the whole time and keep rotating my hips for her to try to come out straight. The worst pain ever. I felt the ring of fire. I felt it, which I really don't think the epidural worked as much as it was supposed to, because the pain was so bad. Y'all don't understand when I tell y'all the pain level. If y'all hear running, it's the dog. Just don't pay attention. But the pain was so bad. I felt the ring of fire. I felt the pressure in my butt. I did poop, but I really don't care. But I did poop. Just a little bit though. So it burned so much when her head was coming out, so much. But it's like once her head came out, the pain like went away. Like I didn't really feel the pain. I felt pressure, but I didn't feel the pain, like the burning. I didn't feel that. So once she was out, mind you, she was early. She was 35 weeks and some days, or 36 weeks, so close to 36 weeks. So at 11:31 p.m. Friday, February 28th, she came out. And she came out peeing, which was a good sign to me, if you say so. She came out peeing, so they brought her over to the area where they clean the baby and all that. Yeah. She wasn't crying, and I was like, is she okay? Like, why isn't she crying? It was like, yeah, she's fine. She's just chilling. So I was like, okay. So then they brought her over to me. Well, yeah, they brought her over to me after Kendrick got the umbilical cord and they cleaned up and all that. Brought her over to me, laid her on my chest, and I had to get stitches. Just a small tear, but it hurted so bad because of my bleeding. Bleeding wouldn't stop down there, so the doctor just wanted to make sure that, you know, my bleeding would stop. So she had to keep going over the same stitch over and over again, which was really, really painful. But I had her on me, so it was okay. But it still was painful. And after that, they brought me to the what is it called? The room you go to after you deliver the baby. That room, yep. The room you're gonna be staying in for 2 days. So they bring me over there. And her, because she never had to leave the room. She was perfectly fine. Her breathing was fine. She never had to leave the room. So when they brought us to the room you stay in for 2 days, I don't know what it's called. They had to check my blood sugar one last time, and then like every couple hours they would check her sugars, make sure they were good, and they would check my blood pressure and stuff. Because I had high blood pressure, they kept checking it every few hours. And then they was checking her vitals every few hours too, because her temperature wasn't regulating. Like it was a little low. It was like 96-ish, yeah. So, and we wanted it to be at like a 98, 99. So they kept bringing the warmer in the room, and we swaddled her in like 3 blankets. Yeah, for like the first day. We kept bringing the warmer in the room and having her under the warmer. But that was the only thing, that was the only problem we had, was keeping her temperature, which is normal for preemie babies. She was 5 pounds 3 ounces and 19 inches long when she came out, and perfectly healthy. Her lungs are healthy. Her eating is getting up there. It's getting up there. I do not breastfeed because it's hard for a newborn baby to latch on nipple, but I do give her breast milk in a bottle, and she takes very good to that. She loves her breast milk. She is a week and I'm trying to think. A week and 4 days. Yeah, a week and 4 days. And this is her little face. This is her little face. You don't want to show them your face? Look. Look. She's so precious. I'm pretty sure she's not 5 pounds or 3 ounces anymore. I'm pretty sure she's probably like 6 pounds or something now. She does wear newborn because I don't have any preemie, but she's filling into them. Very good. Very, very good. So, this is the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.